If you've got an idea for a product to pitch to a company or manufacturer yourself, you just might be sitting on $1 million idea. Sure, it's not the most likely thing ever. $1 million ideas don't just pop out of thin air every day, and certainly not to every person. But you'd be surprised at what becomes a hit with the public and what makes big money unexpectedly. In this list, we'll take a look at 10 products that made 7 figures worth of profit, and much, much more than that, despite not being expected to be successful. Number 10. Crocs. People who know Crocs seem to fall into one of two camps. They either love wearing the slip-on shoes or absolutely hate how they look and would never be seen near a pair. There isn't much middle ground on these often brightly colored and always opinion-revealing plastic clogs. Back in 2002, the Colorado-based shoe company started pushing out its unique product across the country. Soon, they had a hit on their hands and began manufacturing Crocs to be shipped out across the world. Over the next couple of decades, hundreds of millions of Crocs have been sold, and they are now available for purchase in about 100 countries across the globe. The company's stock trades at over $100 a share too, and its annual sales have long since passed the $1 billion mark. There's no question the company is a massive success. Number 9. Kou Balls. Kou Balls were first released in the late 1980s by a small toy company called Odds On. Against all odds, the bizarre, rubbery balls were a hit with 80s kids. Soon enough, they were a hit with 90s kids too. Parents loved them as well because they were softer than baseballs and softballs, meaning kids were less likely to injure each other or break something in the house if they got a little bit too rambunctious. Priced at about $5 a pop by the mid-1990s, Kou Balls were economical for most families. And over that decade, they became a staple in virtually every American household. Just ask any 90s kid. We guarantee they had one or two lying around. We may know from experience. Anyway, Hasbro took notice of Odds On's success in cornering the Kou Ball market, and they wanted in. So, in 1997, the toy giant bought the balls from the tiny company for a cool $100 million. And the Odds On brand got bought out after the Kou sale too. A New Jersey-based firm called Russ Berrie & Co. picked up Odds On and the rest of its products for a cool $30 million a year after Hasbro bought just the Kou vertical. That's quite a payday for a silly little rubber string ball. Number 8. The Slinky. The Slinky is a great example of a product that was unexpected in its success with the public, but also entirely unexpected in how it was invented in the first place. In the 1940s, an engineer named Richard James worked on a project to determine if it was possible to keep sensitive war-related shipping content secure on ships traveling across the ocean. He was hoping to aid the war effort and make transportation and logistics a bit easier for military outfits and international business. Along the way, he accidentally developed the springy, fun Slinky we all played with at one point or another as kids. Just like you would expect, the profits have been significant too. The Slinky has earned its manufacturers around $3 billion over its lifetime, and it's trying to make a bit of a comeback too. In the last decade, the company behind the toy has doubled down on its manufacturing and is seeing major growth once again in the ever-competitive children's toy sector. Number 7. Furby. Who could forget about Furby? The late 1990s were the heyday for Furby dolls. In 1998 alone, Hasbro sold about 2 million of the plush, somewhat disturbing creatures with intense, ever-following eyes. They appealed to kids all over America, and they were a huge hit right at the dawn of the internet age. Then, a year after their late 90s debut, Hasbro shipped out more than 14 million more Furby dolls in a second wave of mass appeal and mass profit. As you might have expected, Furby dolls quickly became something of a collector's item. Retailing for north of $25 during their late 90s heyday, the toys would often be resold by shrewd fans looking to make money on the secondary market. That second collectible sale didn't help Hasbro's bottom line, of course. But the popularity in the first place was all the toy giant needed. During those first few peak-in-demand years, Hasbro's annual revenue topped $500 million, with Furby's popularity a major portion of the profit portfolio. Number 6. Billy Bob Teeth. There are a few gag gifts on this list, but none are more confounding to us than Billy Bob Teeth. They were produced by a company of the same name and were initially meant to be a small-time enterprise pushing gag gifts. See, Billy Bob teeth are merely a set of rotten-looking and missing fake teeth that you place over your real teeth. Then, you smile at unsuspecting friends or acquaintances and scare them half to death with your messed-up mouth. That's it. That's the whole biz. But amazingly, it scaled to massive success. The company that makes these gag teeth is the brainchild of a man named Jonah White. In total, he has sold tens of millions of these teeth to people across America and all over the world. The company has netted more than $50 million in profit in their time in business too. And all they are doing is selling redneck-looking fake teeth. If this doesn't say something about the bizarre landscape that is the 21st century, nothing does. Number 5. Chia Pet. The Chia Pet may not look like much, but for the last 50 years, it has raked in big bucks for its inventor, Joseph Pedot, and his company, Joseph Enterprises. The grow-it-yourself Chia Pet first hit the shelves way back in the 1970s. Pedot was brilliant not only with this timing to market the kitschy product, but also with how he marketed it. The Chia Pet became a late-night television infomercial staple, along with a few of Pedot's other products, like the Clapper. Then, those goofy and memorable products went viral, and boom, profit. Number 4. The Snuggie. The Snuggie was launched during a tough time for most Americans, right in the middle of the back-breaking 2008 financial crisis. But for many reasons, the blanket/sweatshirt caught on, and it's been riding that wave ever since. Recent business moves aside, the Snuggie has always been a bit of a curious product. Back when it was first released to the public, via a series of memorable and funny infomercials, New York Times Magazine infamously called it the pet rock of the Depression 2.0 era. But while the Snuggie may have advertised the complete and total laziness of the wearer, there's no debate about how well it did in the marketplace. By the mid-2010s, more than 30 million body blankets had been bought and shipped out to presumably happy customers. Number 3. Tamagotchi. Who needs a real pet when you can have a digital one? Tamagotchis are a couple decades old now, and they seem a little dated based on the current-day fads we've all seen pop up. That idea for a virtual pet may sound amusing at best, but it was big business for one toy brand. The Tamagotchi product's parent company was Bandai America, and they made a killing off the toy. Since Tamagotchis first hit the shelves, they have sold more than $80 million of them to virtual pet lovers worldwide. The sum total of those sales is now closely approaching $1 billion. And they have adapted their product line for the modern era too. They now offer a fully digital miniature pet. It's just like the old egg-shaped Tamagotchi line, but in the cloud. Number 2. The Pet Rock. The Pet Rock became a completely unexpected cultural phenomenon nearly overnight in 1975. A marketing genius named Gary Ross Dahl invented the bizarre product and started pushing it out to the masses. Inventive and original television ads and other cutting-edge marketing gimmicks made it the talk of the town, of the nation, in what seemed like an instant. Nobody could figure out where the Pet Rock had come from or what made it so special. And while all Americans knew it was dumb, they were also amused by its originality and bizarre story. It helped that Dahl sold the Pet Rocks for just $4 each. So they were cheap enough for people to buy and give to friends and family members as a gag gift. And oh, did Americans buy up these Pet Rocks. Dahl purchased the rocks and their cardboard boxes for just pennies per unit and then flipped millions of them to the American public through the 1970s and into the 1980s. Number 1. Beanie Babies. You didn't think we could make it through this list without mentioning Beanie Babies, did you? These little toys were so popular in the 1990s that their value skyrocketed through the decade. The most rare Beanie Babies started selling for hundreds of dollars and sometimes more, with thoughts that they would only keep going up in price as people coveted the most unique versions of the cute little toys. Of course, we know how that all ended. The Beanie Baby bubble soon burst, and many people were left holding the bag with nobody to sell to and nowhere to offload the now useless products. The trend died off, the toy market moved on, and today, we remember Beanie Babies as a fad of the past and laugh about it. Well, most of us laugh about it. People who spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on single Beanie Baby dolls may not be laughing quite as hard. That's all for today's video and hope you enjoyed it. If so, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more engaging content like this.